everyone. Come on in because we are late. We're late. Well, you not late. I'm late when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta. But we're gonna dip in here real quick before the next episode drops, just so we can talk about and get all back on the same page. Because I was really wondering what was gonna happen after that big old read by Angela the week before on Pinky. But Pinky showed up saying, "Girl, I am not shaken. I am not shaken by this whole Angela read me up and down. I might be stirred, stirred. How y'all say it? Stirred, but I'm not shaken." But Shamia and Kelly, they still complaining, talking about they in the doghouse, they in the dirty house with the dirty sheets. They sleeping in the same bed because they're like, I ain't never ever stayed at no place with these accommodations, and I'm having to sleep in the house with the help. With the help. I tell you, K. Michelle was still running around talking about she needed a glam squad, but this time her glam squad showed up. She should have let Phaedra use her glam squad because I don't know what was going on with Phaedra's makeup. It looked horrible in the morning. Phaedra should have brought a glam squad. But K. Michelle, I don't know why you complaining, girl. You look good. You look really good without makeup. But lo and behold, next thing I know, K. Michelle just didn't want a glam squad. She wanted a whole photo shoot. Too much, K. Michelle. Like I said, K. Michelle needs a whole lot of attention. More attention, more attention, more attention. It ain't enough to just get dressed and go have lunch, breakfast, dinner with the ladies. She got to have a full glam squad. Then after that, she needs a whole photo shoot. Too much. Talking about too much, we still going to say Pinky's too much. In fact, I'm going to change Pinky's name to Fuchsia. That's right, Fuchsia. Because Pinky, you more than pink. You all on Fuchsia. Way too much, girl. You put too much on everything. Even when Pinky was doing that prayer before they was getting on the bus. Remember that prayer? It seemed like it was a 30-minute prayer. Too much. Overachiever. Pinky, you an overachiever, girl. That's why she got to be good at everything. She don't want to admit when she wrong. She's afraid of failure. Girl, go get some therapy, Pinky, because it's going to drive you to an early grave. Early grave. I know you keep your hair short. That's good because you might lose all your hair with always wanting to be a number one on top, the best, doing 15 different things. That's overrated, people. It is really overrated. You got to find out why you work and drive yourself at that sort of a rate. So, like I said, I'm no longer calling Pinky Pinky. Her name is going to be Fuchsia over here on my channel. Angela says, Pinky, you better be quiet because I already know you got another wife living in the basement. A wife in the basement? Angela say, what now, girl? What are you talking about? Another basement. Last time we were talking about Drew and her husband in the basement. Next thing you know, who was the girl? Had the dungeon in the basement, the sex dungeon. Candy Burris, Portia complained about that. Why does everything at Real Housewives of Atlanta happen in the basement? We ain't got no basements in California because of the earthquake, but I guess in Atlanta, that's where stranger things happen in the basement. And next thing you know, last time we had a wife, we had a sex dungeon. No, last time we had a husband in a sex dungeon, and now we got a whole wife living in the basement. Is she talking about a live-in nanny? I have no idea what's going on. But next thing I know, these ladies was splitting up and they was going two different directions. And one group of the ladies, Cynthia, Shamia, Pinky, and Kelly, all of them was supposed to go one direction. And then Phaedra and all the other ladies was going to go watch, I don't know, dressage, riding horses. Phaedra said she used to do this back in the day when she was in, I don't know, college, high school. She did it professionally. But she said, not today, Satan. I'm not getting on this horse today because not today. You're not going to have my wig fall off. She said she did not glue down that wig. I said Phaedra needed the glam squad of what's her name, K. Michelle. Why did K. Michelle let her glam squad do Phaedra's makeup and glue her wig down? I don't know what it is. But you know who I'm really getting sick of? Kelly. I told y'all I wasn't here last year. I didn't watch the show last year. So Kelly is new to me, and already she's working my nerves. She complains about everything. You know, there's some people where you can say, I know why they had a hard time in marriage. It's hard to be in marriage when you have really bad habits. And one of Kelly's is she complained about everything. She talked about everybody. Now she running around telling Drew she looked like an alien. Why you do that, Kelly? Why are you talking about Drew like that? You constantly complain. You're constantly putting down. You're still bringing up the fact that Portia didn't come to your grand opening, but yeah, you always have nasty words to say for everybody. I wouldn't come to nothing yours either. I certainly would not at all. But while Phaedra and all them were over there about to get on the horses, K. Michelle and them horses was bucking, bucking, bucking. They didn't want to have nothing to do with them ladies. The other ladies, the Cynthia crew, they was going over doing a cattle drive, but they was late, so they only got to see 30 minutes of it. And them horses was bucking, 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 saying, "Nuck it, buck if you nuck if you buck." But they started taking some pictures afterwards. They missed a cattle drive, but they said, "Hey, let's take some pictures." But Pinky says, "Oh, no, 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 not Pinky." Fuchsia said, "No, no, 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 no. I'm a vegan. I can't even sit on an ox. I can't smell an ox. I can't touch an ox. I can't even look in the direction of ox, because if I do, I might lose my business." Well, I already thought you lost your business. Girl, go ahead and sit on that ox. You already lost the whole business anyway. She said, "Nope, I can't eat the meat. I can't touch the meat. I can't smell the meat. Nothing." Next thing you know, she was up in a restaurant that had all meat. They in Dallas. Girl, what was you thinking? You coming to Dallas. They gonna eat meat any kind of which way, 15 different ways. She said, "Waitress, I'll have the French fries." I will have the French fries. I hope it wasn't made with peanut oil or something. I don't know, people. But Portia said she liked that horse. She said, "Ooh, let me snap off a little bit of that hair. I can make me a whole lot of go naked hair with that." Portia said, free hair for the go naked hair business. But they was up there doing Italian wine tasting in a barn with a horse. That's not appropriate. At least, make it a whiskey tasting. A whiskey tasting could have been good. Make it appropriate. Why are you drinking Italian wine in a Dallas barn? Y'all should have been doing some sort of whiskey taking. But this is what Cynthia started telling all the girls. Pinky, I don't know, something wrong with her. She is way too assertive, too aggressive. Call her Fuchsia, Portia. I told you, call her Future. Call her Fuchsia, because she definitely does too much. But Pinky says, don't be calling me aggressive. Okay, first of all, because that's a stigma in the Black community. And Cynthia says, "Well, you know what? I don't know what you want me to call you, but let me tell you what you do. You start conversations, you run conversations, and then when you're done, you end the same conversation. Nobody else can get a word in edgewise. So what do you call that?" I call it Fuchsia. And that's what I call it. I call it Fuchsia. But next thing you know, Shamia and Kelly were all happy because their room got clean. Their room was clean, but not till they gave Cynthia hell and back. Cynthia says, "I don't want to hear another doggone word about that room. Y'all act like you 13 years old. The room is going to get clean." And next thing you know, they said they was real happy the room was clean, and now they jumping up and down on the bed. So let me tell you this. You want the people to keep the room clean and looking nice, but you jumping up and down on the bed. Shamia's running around twerking. I don't know what's wrong with Shamia. Who is Shamia? Who is Shamia? Whoever Shamia is, she want to be somebody else. That's all I know. Whoever she is, she don't want to be who she is. She want to be somebody else. And she always tries to do extra, extra, extra to get attention. She really do want to be the it girl. She really does want to be the it girl. But Shamia ain't got that. That's just not her personality. She's a backup girl. And ain't nothing wrong with being a backup girl. You know what I'm saying? Backup girls are good. I don't see what's wrong, but not Shamia. Shamia ain't happy enough being the backup to her husband, being a housewife, even though all these other ladies over here are doing it. Next thing you know, K. Michelle is running around talking about she likes chocolate women. She likes women. I didn't know K. Michelle went both ways. I really didn't know that K. Michelle, aren't you in country music? I don't know, K. Michelle. I don't know, girl. You better be rethinking all this. Next, so you know what? K. Michelle is telling us a whole lot about herself, and more than we ever knew. So I guess K. Michelle said, "I love attention, and I don't just want attention from men. I want it from women too." That's why I sometimes be thinking. I think some people who really like attention, they say, "I'm an equal opportunity, give me attention person." And I'm starting to realize that about K. Michelle. I really am. Even K. Michelle was sitting over there jealous of the fact that Phaedra got a lot of attention from white women in the airport. She goes, "Who knew that so many white women knew Phaedra? That Phaedra was more popular than her." K Michelle says, here I am, a whole R&B singer and turned country. But yet when we in the airports, Phaedra getting more white women that like her than me. So that means K Michelle gonna stay on Real Housewives of Atlanta because she didn't really want to be here. She was like, I don't know if this show was really for me. But now she found out how she can be popular from Real Housewives, and that Real Housewives are more popular than R&B singers and country singers. She's like, maybe I'll stay. Maybe I'll sign up for another season. That's good, K Michelle, because I like you on the show. I really like you on the show. Don't mean that I like everything about you, but I like you on the show. But it didn't end there because K Michelle had to run around talking about how girl groups didn't like her back in Atlanta. Where's the violins? Where are the violins? Between K Michelle and Kelly, all they do is talk about what they don't like, complain, who don't like them, what didn't go their way, what they need to be different, all day long, every day. Every day. I know that husband and K Michelle stay at work all day. All day. He probably don't never come home. They probably out in a long distance relationship because no one can listen to someone complain all the time about woe is me. You get tired of the woe is me thing. All she talked about, everybody was mean to her when she was in Atlanta. You mean the whole city of Atlanta, the whole state of Georgia was mean to you, K Michelle? Girl, you are doing too much. You're going to become the Fuchsia 2.0. Like I said, Kelly still complaining about Porsche not showing up at her restaurant opening, but yet Porsche sent flowers, and then Kelly was mean to her then too. Girl, you don't even like Porsche. You could care less if she showed up. But next thing I know, Porsche was running around talking about in her book. Well, she didn't really bring it up. K Michelle brought it up. Not K Michelle. Kelly brought it up, talking about you slept with R. Kelly. And Portia's like, girl, you read my book. Thank you for being my fan. Thank you for the money. Kelly thought she was really doing something. I mean, but you know what? I didn't read Portia's book. I didn't know she slept with R. Kelly. Did he pee on you too, Portia? Did he pee on you too? Did he did all those freaky things to you like he did to them other girls? I don't know. There's two people I would never admit to dating. One is R. Kelly and the other one is P. Diddy. I would go to the grave with them secrets. No one would ever know. And if anyone ever said they saw me or they knew about it, I would say, you a lie, you a lie, you a lie. I would deny it from the beginning to the end. I would never admit it. Absolutely not. Not at all. But all Kelly got to do is keep calling Portia whore Portia, slut Portia, everyone you slept with. Talking about Portia, you was trying to scissor me. I didn't even know what scissoring was. I didn't even know what the term. I had to Google the damn term. Scissor you, girl. Portia, you know what? You so over here trying to bring up the fact that Portia wanted to scissor you, Kelly. You need to rewind the tape because Candy Burris had one better than that. She said Portia wanted to eat her out till she came. So scissor you, that's G-rated. That is G-rated. Portia's already let you know she's an equal opportunity person here. Anywhere she can get attention, anywhere she gonna go, and she gonna do what she needs to do. So Kelly, girl, you can't trump eating you out till you come with scissoring me. Go sit down, Kelly. But I know you got to keep coming up with things to complain about and your one-liners and everything. Keep trying, girl. Keep trying. But that's all we got, y'all. It's quick and dirty, real quick and dirty, because we're going to have to get ready for the next episode. But I will be on time this time. I'm going to be on time for the next episode. Until then, y'all, I will talk to you later. Bye.